Hey everyone, welcome to another Shane Shed video. A little while ago, probably, I don't know, mate, might have been about 3 videos ago, I had a little episode where I replaced the height sensor, rear height sensor on my Disco 3. Now, if you watch that video, you might recall that I broke the electrical connector on the height sensor. Now obviously we want to be as gentle as we can be with this stuff so we don't break the original connectors. There we go, there's one side. Hopefully that's not broken. These plastics aren't exactly new anymore. They're not as pliable as they once were. Oh, there it goes. Try and give that a push down, something that's like a screwdriver, just, ooh. Like typical, isn't it? I said be careful with this shit. So today I've finally got a box full of parts and stuff, various other pieces, and I also ordered a replacement for that, so we'll get into that now. Alright, so in order to do this, I've just got a little repair kit. As you can see here, YMQ 503220 is the part number. It's just basically a pigtail with the connector. There's a couple of bits of heat shrink in there with some crimps. I won't be using the crimps. I'm not too sure about this heat shrink material, whether this is a glue type. I'll probably end up using some of my own heat shrink because it's got the glue inside it, which is a shit ton better than this stuff. But, well, I don't know whether it's got glue in it or not, so we'll see. But I won't be using the crimps, and well, I'm just going to be soldering this job, and I'll show you why in a sec. So let's get into it. Got the wheel off, guys, so probably just an important factor as well. Once you jack the vehicle up, make sure you're sitting on some car stands. Just keep things safe for yourself. You don't want this crap falling on you because it's not going to end well. Anyway, let's get into it. Alright, so you might recall that last time I was in here, I broke this clip, broke this connector and just taped it up. So the tape was mainly just to hold everything together and just hopefully keep any moisture, dirt, water, that sort of stuff out. In the meantime, I was waiting for the replacement connector to arrive. So we'll get this unplugged, which is kind of easy since the whole thing's just falling apart. And yeah, we'll get this. First off, I'll make sure that the new connector is the same. Very important step before we go cutting anything. So I'll get this tape off and we'll come back to it. Alright, so the new connector comes with this little Christmas tree cable tie clip here. So I'm just going to pop this out, and I don't have to worry about breaking it because I've got a replacement one, which is kind of nice for a change. I'll just snip this cable tie off. Hopefully it's doable one-handed, which might not be. I'll put the camera down. So the important part now is I'll just check the pinning of the existing connector and just make sure that lines up with the same pins on the new connector, which I don't know how you go for visibility. It's a little bit dark in there, but that looks identical to me. And as you can see, new plug plugs in just fine. So the pins are the same orientation. We just got a little bit different colours on the wiring, but yeah, we'll make do with that. Shouldn't be too much of a drama. So I'll get this plug out and we'll start cutting. Now I'm going to cut this fairly close to the original plug, and that's mainly because if you ever need to do another repair again in the future sometime, yeah, the more of this original wiring we have left, probably the better, because that means when we solder it, if we need to replace it, we'll cut it above the solder and start again from fresh wiring. So give ourselves as long as possible, and obviously we've got plenty of cable on the new connector, so yeah, that length isn't an issue there. So yeah, we'll cut that nice and close, and let's go from there. Yeah. Off. Rather than doing a straight cut on this wiring, I've offset them, staggered them. This is mainly so when they're bundled up together, yeah, obviously we're not going to have perfect insulation like we do now. We're just going to have shrink wrap between them, so if there's any chafing, hopefully they don't short together. So that's the theory behind that. Also, yeah, you could use the crimps in here, but the reason why I'm not going to is because of this particular environment. You know, it's going to get a bit of mud, water, and whatnot during winter. So I just figure that the shrink wrap is going to get a better seal around all this cabling when you don't have a crimp on there. Well, I've got nothing against crimps, but just in this particular case, I'd rather solder it. So important little thing before we go soldering up, make sure you get your heat shrink on before you join those wires, otherwise you'll never get them on. This is going to be way too tight for me to film and solder in there, so I might just I'll just solder these in now. If you want to see a bit more detailed video of mine on soldering, I'll just put a link up, card up here. So just for a similar job what I was doing, just splicing a couple of wires on for a trailer connection. So yeah, have a look at that if you want to know more about it. But I'll turn the camera off, get in, and get this soldered together. Alright, so they're all soldered up now. I admit the lengths for the offset aren't perfect, but it's kind of difficult to work sort of within this location. But for the moment, we'll just throw these this heat shrink over the joins. We'll get the heat gun on there and seal it up. Look, if I'm honest, getting in here and doing a crimp could quite possibly be a bit easier, but you probably have the same limitation with getting crimpers in, unless you can get that cabling. You want to pull all the original loom and stuff and all that tape out to get that cable right out. Yeah, this is probably the easiest way in here. Alright, so that's all heat shrunk up. So we're just going to whack this back into the split tube, and we're pretty much all done. Alright, so last job is just to tape that up, just to hold it all together a bit. Obviously, we'll plug it in. Plug that in. Now it's the right way, and we'll just get that that little cable tie that was on here before. So we'll just hook that down so it's out of the way. So hopefully that little bit of extra length doesn't worry us too much. Or get that in. Working one-handed is not much fun yet. Okay, and there, as you can see, that's job done. So a little bit extra cable from what there was originally, but shouldn't make too much of a difference, I don't think. But that it's sort of tucked up out of the way, so that should be fine, I hope. Well, we can always just bend it around so it's kind of out of the way. That should be all right. Yeah, alrighty. So that's it for that little repair. I mean, it's, as you can see, you don't have much room to work in down here, so it's kind of made filming reasonably difficult. But it is what it is. It's one of those things, you just got to deal with what you've got. So thanks for sticking with us. If you like this video, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so if you can help out, and yeah, that'd be greatly appreciated. It all helps with the channel growth. So, and also don't forget to comment and share the video around where you see fit. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one, guys. So take it easy.